thatmovieguyUK.
Francois Ozon has to be one of France's most elegant directors. He has created films that have captivated me, from L'Amandable to Young and Beautiful to Swimming Pool to France to Potiche to Eight Women. I have adored his body of work. And his latest film, By the Grace of God, Grâce, Dieu, it received great acclaim at the Berlin Film Festival. It had received great acclaim at London Film Festival, and I am so intrigued to discuss this film, and I'm glad that we can talk about it. By the Grace of God follows the story of Alexandre. He lives with his wife and children in Lyon. One day he discovers by chance that the priest who abused him when he was a Boy Scout is still working with young people, and long repressed memories awaken. Francois Ozon really strips back his auteurness in this film, and he reveals a very tender story, but with great elegance. While I was very fearful that Ozon would be creating something a bit more controversial with the whole concept of this subject matter, he really champions it, and he has said in interviews that he felt great pressure creating this film, and you can feel it. There are true tender moments throughout By the Grace of God, but at the same time, not being a showy director has benefited him, because the words are the important element of the film, and it is the core emotional element that is required for this narrative to flow. But saying this also, there is no forcefulness of hatred, there is no forceful way of sympathizing, there is just a natural feeling to the film, and there are very interesting points of view that you can respect and you also admire. But this is also the interesting part of By the Grace of God, is that this is the first film, and I think in some time, that Francois Ozon had delved into the male psyche and how they deal with these harrowing tales of child abuse. Obviously, we know as men do not really discuss their feelings. They don't necessarily want to talk about the past. But Ozon is putting it out there that it's okay for this to happen, and discourse needs to go on. And with the Catholic Church, they have not brought these men to justice, and this is an ongoing tale in France right now. It's in the news, and Ozon wants people to be aware of it, but people need to be brought to justice, and there needs to be more support for survivors. They're not victims. They have tried to continue with their lives, but support is needed. And throughout this whole process of the film, I did not feel anger, but I felt that I had been informed a lot more about the impact of these harrowing events. By the Grace of God is very poignant, it's very reflective. And while I wouldn't say exactly that it was an Ozon film, it's definitely his most masterful film. And I would be very intrigued to see where Ozon moves on next. I'm aware that he's making a film about like a coming of age film, which is his next project, and I'm very intrigued to see how this goes on. I must say that obviously within this film, Denis Minochet and Melville Papou, I believe they bring so much to the screenplay and to the whole impact of the story there. While I know that they are obviously playing characters, you felt this raw human emotion from them, and this intrigue and this pain that's inside them, and this angst. And I believe that without this powerful performances by both of them, Ozon's vision would not really come into fruition, and they really need to be applauded for what they have done. And The Grace of God will be available on Ozon home cinema and in UK cinemas as of tomorrow, which is October the 25th. I would implore anybody to watch this film and seek it out. It's definitely one of the more intriguing pieces of cinema I've seen, and definitely an eye-opener in that way. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. But if you've seen By the Grace of God, please feel free to comment and begin a discourse if you wish. Obviously we're here to talk about cinema, and Francois Ozon is one of these guys that I would love to talk about, even if you want to talk about his career in general. My information is below of anything that you want to follow me on Instagram, Letterboxd, whatever. Like, share, subscribe, dislike, do whatever you please. And obviously, as we say on the channel, Dieu, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shits. And obviously, never change.